Unbelievable how much footage is being released of Russian captives.
Срочно. Фамилия, имя, отчество. Откуда? Дагестан. Что тут делаешь? Курск это что? Это Украина, правильно. Фамилия, имя, отчество. Что тут делаете? Срочно? Хорошо. Давай флаг Украины.
As Ukrainian forces march through a village in the Kursk region, someone yells Slava Ukraini to them, and then they meet a local drunk.
Улица План. Слава Украине, кричат, прикинь. Вот и первый местный житель. В своем репертуаре Рашка. Опять в торбулях.
Kursk region governor announced that 180,000 residents are subject to evacuation. That's 15% of the region's population. And when you hear the next story, a lot of things will be clearer about this evacuation too. The Russian publication Interesting Stories has published a lengthy interview with a former Russian army officer who opposed the invasion of Ukraine. He explains how the Ukrainians were able to invade the Kursk region so easily. Here are some extracts. The former officer comments that the Russian Volunteer Corps and Freedom of Russia Legion began mounting raids into the Kursk region in March 2024. This was done to observe how quickly they respond to your arrival. How many forces are there? Where? What? How? While the Ukrainians were gathering intelligence on the ground, the officer says, the Russians didn't react. What changed on our side on the border in 6 months? Nothing. And when all these raids on the Kursk direction started, the border guards only had light firearms, no heavy equipment, and the border was practically always open. But nothing changed in 6 months. Authorities allocated money to strengthen the border. Dragon's teeth. Trenches were supposedly dug, but mostly the money, as usual, was stolen. Those on the border knew something was up, he says, but were brushed off by the general command. As usual, all requests up the chain were met with, "We have everything under control. Intelligence reports that nothing has been noticed." When the Ukrainians began their offensive, they arrived in groups and just started pushing forward without securing positions, just further and further, one swift push. Because if they were to secure positions, it would give us more time and opportunities to bring in troops to stop them. So they just push forward as fast as possible, while ours are talking shit, arguing, showing up, and filming reports. As they say in the army, if you want to defeat Russia, declare war, and it will fuck itself up with inspections. The main Ukrainian force has been preceded by a screening force of long-range sabotage and reconnaissance groups, DRGs, which go even further and start digging in. And when the Russian troops finally show up, the DRGs start attacking them. In this situation, our forces didn't just respond late, they didn't respond properly at all. They surrender in whole packs because, firstly, the conscripts don't know how to fight, and secondly, they don't have the weapons to repel such attacks. The former officer says that the Ukrainian offensive has been aided by catastrophically poor Russian command decisions, such as the sending of hundreds of troops in a convoy that was obliterated by HIMARS strikes at Rilsk on the night of 9th of August. At least on the front line, after some time and massive losses, they figured out that driving in a convoy is suicide. But those sitting here still drive in convoys and think they're going to a parade. The Ukraine has drones? Has rockets? What kind of fucking idiot would lead a convoy in this case, and one that's even being filmed for the news? That's why the guys died without even getting there. He doubts that the Ukrainians will go much further into Russia, as the line of the breakthrough is small and there is a significant risk of encirclement. As soon as our forces start doing something right, and pull in reserves, they can block the Ukrainian approaches from Ukraine. The Russian army will encircle them, stop the flow of resources, then just tighten the ring and destroy them all. As for the local civilians, the former officer believes they will be written off by the Russian authorities. Since this is Russia, we won't give a fuck about the civilians left there. It's already clear that the locals have been abandoned to fend for themselves. People there are on their own. They'll level everything with artillery and aviation. After all, what is Kursk Oblast compared to Russia? And let's see the other battlefields. Double detonation on mines of an armored vehicle of the occupiers on the Siversk direction. HIMARS strike on a Russia P-18 radar in the Zaporizhia region. A march on Washington in Magadan, Russia. For Belgorod, Kherson, Kursk, and Crimea, let's take the United States in our crosshairs. The number of cities keeps growing.
За Белгород и Донбасс! За Крым и Севастополь! За Курск и Херсон! Берем США на прицел! Для победы России требуем ввести полетные задания в наши стратегические ядерные ракеты и нацелить их на города Соединенных Штатов Америки! Ярс, Сармат и Посейдон! Берем прицел! На Вашингтон! На Вашингтон! На Вашингтон! На Вашингтон! Ярс! Сармат и Посейдон! Взят прицел на Вашингтон! 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 На Вашингтон!
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.